Hey guys, welcome back. What we're going to do in this video is go through functions. We did briefly go over functions before in another video when we created this set name and get name functions, but I didn't really go over it in a whole lot of detail. So let's do that now. Let's create a function. So public function, okay, and we're saying public because we want this code to be accessed from outside the class. So any code outside of this class will be able to call this function. If we set this to private, they wouldn't be able to call it from outside the class, okay? So public function, and then the function name, which maybe we want to say speak. So making a speak function, and put two parentheses, and then put your curly braces on. And these parentheses are just where you specify any values you want to pass into this function, what we call parameters or arguments, as some people know them as. So we're not going to put anything in there for now, but just know this is where we would pass values in if we want to. I'll show you that later. So for now, we can just say echo hi everyone. All right, so echo hi everyone, and then down here I'll get rid of this echo person age, and I'll just say person arrow speak, just like that. And we're going to call this speak function. So save that, refresh the page, and you'll see hi everyone right there. So we've called this speak function. Okay, now what if you want to pass a value into this, like I just talked about? So now what if we want to pass a value into this function? So I just mentioned that, how functions can take parameters or arguments, and the way we can do that is by specifying the name of the variable here. So we can say name, like that. We're going to pass in some name variable, and then down here we need to make sure we pass in name as well. If I refresh this at the moment, we're going to get this error saying that missing argument 1 for person speak. The reason is we've specified that speak takes a parameter, but down here we're calling it without a parameter. So we need to make sure we pass in some value that it can use in place of name. So let's just say Mario, okay? And then in this speak function, we're not going to say hi everyone. We're going to just say hi with a space and then put dot name. And what this does is it's going to say hi with whatever value we pass in for name. And this dot in PHP just concatenates strings, just joins them together, okay? So I'm going to refresh this page now, and we should see hi Mario, just like that. So let's create a new function now. Let's create a private function. Okay, let's just say, how old am I? Like that. How old am I? All right, private function, how old am I? And down here, we're going to say how old they are. So we're just going to echo this arrow, because it refers to this instance of the class, and then age, which we have up here, this variable we created up here. So this age, and then we can do a dot. Remember, this joins strings together, and then in the double quotes we can just put space years old, just like that. And then as this is private, if I try and call this function right now, if I try and call how old am I and refresh the page, like I said, we'll get this error because it's a private function and we can't call it from outside the class. This code is outside the class. What we can do though is let this public function call it for us, because we can call this, it's public. So what we can do is inside this public function, we can say this arrow, how old am I? Just like that. So now we're calling this how old am I function from within this function. Okay, now refresh the page. We're still getting the error because down here I didn't call the right function. So we need to call this speak function. So call speak, and then because it takes a value, we need to just specify something in there, just put some text, and then refresh the page, and we'll say 23 years old. So we're calling a private function by going through this public function. All right, so we're calling the public function, which in turn calls a private function. So that's a little intro to functions. Any questions about any of this, just let me know and I'll be happy to answer them for you.